Yo, what up? This is DJ Newmark, a.k.a.
Uncle New.
From Jurassic 5, and you're checking out the library with my main man, Tim Onicle, on www.rapstation.com.
How y'all feel out there? Y'all feel alright? Yeah. Well, y'all about to witness one of the coldest MCs, funk extraordinaire, musical genius. Y'all know what it is. Yeah. If you don't know, let me break it down to you. You heard him on Eazy-E. Above the Law, Chronic 2001, E42 Short, P. Diddy, Snoop Dogg, and the list goes on. Hey, pound for pound, he is the most featured artist in the history of the music business. So with no further ado, welcome to the stage, the legendary Kokane!
What it do, y'all? Well, all right, y'all.
The legendary Kokane, a.k.a. Mr. Kane, has been involved in the music industry since the dawn of hip-hop. For 20 years, he has worked with an array of artists, going from Tupac to P. Diddy to Eazy-E, NWA, to even Boosty Collins and Parliament, and a lot more. Kokane, thank you so much for joining me on And You Don't Stop with Chuck D on the library with Tim Onicle.
Hey, thank you very, very much, man. Peace and blessings, and thank you for having me.
Cool. Your new album is set to release January 2014. Since we're on the radio, I'll have to, clean it up a little bit. It's called Shut the F Up and Cut the Check. So first off, can you just kind of tell us, when creating this album, what was the goal you were trying to reach with the end game of the album? Like, what was the goal you were trying to achieve, and do you feel you achieved that with this album?
Well, I wanted to have a sense of humor about the name, first of all. As long as I've been working in the game for over 24 years, big ups to Eazy-E. He was my mentor, and he showed us a lot. And, after you work for a long time in the game, it gets to the point to where you don't need to talk no more. Talking is over with. Shut the F up and cut the check. And that goes across the board. Anytime, I don't care if you've been building rocket parts for years, it's certain things that it's, you're supposed to get promotion and things don't happen well. It gets to the point to where you've been working hard, you put in a hard time, you deserve that check. So that was the whole thing of it, but I wanted to put it in a sense of humor form, so it can be compatible demographically across the world as far as hip hop. Mm-hmm. And in hip hop, we're known to say fly cliches and different other things. So that's how that started. Shut the F up and cut the check. Ain't no more talking. I done put in my time, and I done paid my dues. So it's just the same thing with Brother Chuck D. I'm so glad that them brothers got in the Hall of Fame, because that was basically saying shut the F up and put us in the Hall of Fame. Right. So it's the same thing in similar senses. You know what I mean? So that's how that came about.
Cool. And the after the introduction, but the first track on the album is Stay Winning.
I seen them come, I seen them go. Used to be at the top of their game. You used to have streets on lock, money, cars, and fame. What goes up will surely come down. And it's so sad you don't see you around. You had everything in the palm of your hand, but you lost it all and they killed your right-hand man. Oh no. Haven't you heard of lay low? It ain't like back in the days when you can easily get off elbows. Feds got the homies in the hood that work for hire. Be singing more than the Creflo Dollar Church choir. Liar, liar, 501's on fire, but you never catch me slipping, spilling beans on the wire. 3 steps ahead of the feds and the Vogues keep spinning. One thing about cocaine, I always stay winning.
Which I think definitely prepares the listener for what to expect on this album. It's, you know, you have straight commentary, like commentary about there's way too many people in the rap game. And then you also kind of keep that West Coast funk music flavor, which I have to say was great because it actually brought me back to like early 90s. I was talking to my friend about it. I was like walking down the street and I'm in 2013, but I feel like I'm in 1990, which I definitely appreciated with the album. So I want to know, like, was starting with Stay Winning, was that purposeful for the first track of the album? I mean, was there like a plan going into like, this is going to be track 1, this is going to be track 2, stuff like that?
Well, what I wanted to do, anytime I put a project together, the project has to be a vibe. I don't never, before I put a project together, I'll never say, well, I want this and I want that. You know, we vibe with that record, and one of the coolest things that I think I've done was be patient about it. You know, because I put projects together. It takes me like 2 months, but it took me a year. I wanted to do my homework and get the right production and get the right people. You know, Busta, you know, I have the lead single off here, Busta Rhymes. He blessed me with it. And it has a host of different celebrities on there. But, you know, like the first song that I've done off the project is called Stay Winning. And it's really talking about, you know, nowadays music has become so much artificial flavors like Terminator. It might walk like us, talk like us, but it don't have no soul. And anybody can pick up some YouTube views, and all of a sudden people that really don't have no talent are now becoming the ones at the forefront as opposed to talent. So music has become very artificial flavor. So that Stay Winning, that song right there is basically, you know, in order to change different things that, you know, that in my humble opinion was authentic music, you know, with live instrumentation, we have to have the attitude shift. And because your attitude determines your altitude. And one of the things that I know as far as music is concerned, you know, before I signed with Easy, my dad was a writer and composer. His works include Just My Imagination, Still Waters Run Deep, Smiling Faces, Papa with the Rolling Stones, all those great records that Jerry Long Sr. did. I'm Jerry Long Jr. So music is music, and they call it old school, but I call it the best school, because the simple fact that when we had those type of music, it had music with substance in it. And you notice between when the 90s hit and the mid 90s, it must have been a couple of private corporations to come together to criminalize music, to go ahead and have influence, because that's why it was so hard for music with substance to be heard now, because they wanted to go ahead and criminalize it so cold. And, you know, we can go a long story into that. But, you know, for us, like Chuck D, myself, KRS-One, people like X-Clan, people like The Message, we always had to have that Stay Winning attitude towards our music that we do. Because we look at the younger generation today, and we can say, well, they got their elbows on the table. And, you know, my grandma used to slap the mess out of me when I got the elbows on the table. You know, this generation is very disrespectful to not all the youngsters, but us as OGs are accountable as well, for us to go ahead and give out those right signals and frequencies and messages with substance again, because they made it hard because of the numbers and the corporate structure and different things like that. But now, you know, with via radio shows like y'all and different other elements touching from the soul music that I did on this Shut the F Up and Cut the Check, it's being reintroduced into a wider audience. And thank God, because of the internet, it has pros and cons, but now it's a worldwide phenomenon. Soul music and music with substance is back on the roll again. So when I started that was the first song that I did. It's called Stay Winning, and it's touching on certain aspects of the music industry and how I feel as far as what's wrong right now. Now, I don't put nobody down for these young black kids or white, black, Chinese, whatever you live, that comes from that suppression environment we call ghettos. If you have an outlet to go ahead and do what you do, then do what you do, but then perpetuates either positivity or negativity. And what we want to do is not to judge these people out here that's doing this type of repetitious music. What we want to say, think different. Because if you remember the past, you're going to know where you're going in the future. And we are getting back to honoring our people and honoring a culture, because this culture started we had substance in it. You got to realize hip-hop mobilized the whole movement all the way down from just commercials now. And notice, this is the new rock and roll. So that's what learning from those elements like Chuck D and Grandmaster Flash and all these cats that had a big inspiration, even from the West Coast side, learning from Eric, you know what I'm saying? When they said F the police, it was a voice. So my thing is having the independent label that I have, learning from my mentor, Eric Wright, and different people like that. You know, I get a chance to go ahead and reintroduce what was forgot about back into the program. And I think we did a good, eloquent job with just putting this project out. We Shut the F Up and Cut the Check. We got Busta Rhymes, we got Be Legit, we got Richie Rich, we got Dog Pound Gang, we got Cole 187 from Above the Law, and a lot of more surprise guests on there to go ahead and say, hey, music is alive. You know, what is the reason why the West Coast was doing what we're doing, but, you know, we followed suit from the East Coast, from the Mecca, you know, and used it in our own way. When Ice-T was singing 6 in the morning, police at my door, well, that was a voice. So it's everything, in my opinion. I'm really sharp on that 48 laws of power. It's timing. And it's the right time, you know, with the Kendrick Lamar experience and different other things. Music is coming back around, soul music. You got to raise the level. And not only just from the West Coast, worldwide. Music with substance is starting to come back, and that's what we completed with this project, Shut the F Up and Cut the Check. The response has been overwhelming. And our motto is we're going to put paint where it ain't and go around and educate the youth on it, because this is what we do. But who we are is intelligent people that derive from Muhammad Ali first rapping, James Brown first rapping, Grandmaster Flash, Coop, Herc and him, you know, moved it over to the West Coast, you know what I'm saying? So that in a nutshell, you know, stay winning. We always got to have that stay winning attitude, especially as OGs, to go ahead and translate that over to a wider audience. So that's how that first song kicked off the album for Shut the F Up.
Y'all think y'all missed the big stuff? More like cream puffs. Moving in the right direction. Ain't letting nothing hold me down. Ain't worried about distractions. When my eyes always on the ground, 'cause I stay winning. Ain't no in between, 'cause I stay with it. You can hate all day, but I'm living the dream.